Go ahead, go.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. We are here with a special guest. It's right, it's the Inquisition of listener Anthony. We are going to hear his thoughts on The Old Man and the Gun, and then we're going to talk about Dakota Johnson's tour de force, Madam Web.
Opus?
Yeah, she is just...
Her magnum anus.
Yeah.
Her magnum opus for her monster dong.
You know what makes a great Spider-Man movie? No Spider-Manning.
No Spider-Man.
That's clearly what their plan was.
Don't even get me started. Oh, my God.
I can't wait to talk about it.
You know what I love about Spider-Man movies? The car combat. That's the thing that always makes me think Spider-Man. So anyway.
Twisted Metal Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So we are going to, we have a special guest, as Gog said. It's Anthony. So now our listenership for this week's episode is down to 3. But Anthony was pretty unhappy with our Old Man and the Gun.
Wait, hold on.
Can I finish? I'm a host. I have to raise his hand. I have to intro this. You'll have your turn. Don't worry.
Damn, TJ pulled the host card early.
Yes. Anthony was very unhappy with our review, or collectively, all of our reviews. And so I wanted to give him a chance for rebuttal. We've never had this on the show. I thought it was a fascinating idea. So, and this is to everybody else, all the other hosts on the show. We have to give Anthony the floor. Let him air his fucking grievances, and then we will open it up to discussion. But I'm going to give him the floor and allow him to express his opinion of the film. Hold on, though. I think Sean is raising his hand, I think. I don't know. Sean, are you raising your hand?
I just want to... Yeah, that was me. I just want to know if Anthony can go.
Oh. It's a shame we don't put the video part of this on YouTube or something, because you can't see it at home, but there's this button that says raise hand now, and we're obsessed with it, and it's very funny to me. I don't know, but it's not listening at home. It's not funny at all. It's very funny.
Why don't you? Well, I thought you did put the video on YouTube. Why don't you put the video up?
Because Gogs uses his real name and he doesn't want it on the thing, and I'm too lazy to edit it out.
Those are 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Drew's not his real name.
But anyway. But yeah, anyway, Anthony, you have the floor. Please illuminate us as to what The Old Man and the Gun actually was about, because I will say that your take, I told the guys, I gave them a brief rundown of what you told me at first.
Yeah.
I can't relate to that take at all. But go ahead, please. And we will not interrupt. You have the floor.
No, I don't mean to interrupt. First of all, I just want to be
not interrupt.
Go ahead, Bosie.
Look, if I'm going to interrupt Alec, you know how it is. Christ,
no, I'm just gonna mute myself.
I'm also going to mute
interrupting is our.
Sean raised his hand.
Is our brand.
Yeah, it's true. Sean, go ahead.
I'm probably going to interrupt.
You can interrupt.
As long as you raise your hand.
As long as you raise your hand.
All right, go ahead. Shit, he raised his hands again.
I just wanted to confirm that I'll raise my hand to interrupt.
Yeah, you have to use your hand to interrupt. That's the deal.
Oh, that's a good bit. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
sorry, go ahead. Use this bit because I've never been on a show before, but a long-time listener, first-time caller. Thank you for having me. I didn't hate any of your guys' opinions. In fact, I understood them. And I'm going to say 2 things about this movie in particular. One,
two things. That's not interruption. That's just we have.
No, by all means. First,
Sean,
I'm going to say that
go ahead.
I'm a mark for old Robert Redford going out on this flick. I have a special attachment to this guy. My dad, I think he's the first guy that I recognize as a movie star. Not just an actor, but a movie star. My dad loved The Natural. He used to make us watch it. And I have an affinity for Robert Redford. So seeing him, in all the cuteness of this flick and...
Oh, come on. No.
He got bricked up.
He got his damn fucking connection got bricked up. Go ahead, Sean.
Yes, Sean.
I think Anthony dropped off.
Literally. God damn it, dude.
That'd be a power move.
He was just starting.
He can get back
What the
in.
hell? Anthony, if you can hear me, just call from your phone. That's probably a better connection.
I literally only use my phone for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So what you guys watching?
We're not going to do that this week. Hold on. He'll come back. Hey, try to connect with your phone.
Yeah, hold on.
Your
Let me
computer.
turn off the video.
Okay. That might help.
So, I don't know what you guys heard, but, you know, what I was saying.
Your fondness, your dad.
Your fondness of Robert Redford.
You know, and me and TJ were speaking, or texting analog right before the show, and I think.
Oh my God. Seriously.
Star, right?
Oh, hold on. Keep going. I think we lost you again.
Again?
Yeah. You just try calling from your phone. It might be better from your phone.
I can see you guys. Everything's fine.
Keep talking.
Yeah, the video's off. Anyway. I'll say this about the flick. I'm here for it. I'm here for the cuteness of Robert Redford leaving the film industry with this film. I'm here for all of the Norman Rockwell-esque cinematography, especially at the beginning. The Americana is all there. It's beautiful, right? He goes off, riding off into the sunset on a horse, right? You with me here? Can you guys hear me? Miles?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, I don't think any of us disagreed with that.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think these are the things we agree with. I think, well, you guys, you know, I get it. You felt like it was, I think the thing that I love about this movie, and I've been watching two movies over and over and over again when I just want to put on a flick. It's been this movie and Chef. And I think they both share a similar theme. And that's just men in their middle age, not knowing what to do with their life and trying to figure out a way to move forward. And I feel like the Casey Affleck character in The Old Man and the Gun, you know, really exemplifies this. And I love it. You know, I love his interactions with his kids, the way his kids kind of tell him things. And he's
Hold on. Sean raised his hand. Sorry, you can't see that yet.
Maybe this is a taste thing, and maybe it's just where everybody's in their lives, because I think we all love movies with old men that are falling apart and then actually fall apart and die. Like, I think that's more of our meta.
I mean, I think the thing is I love those movies too. I agree with you. I think I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I just want, and I was, you know, funny, I was researching, you know, a little bit of stuff. I was like, am I the only one who sees this? After talking to TJ all week. And I read some reviews that were similar to my take. And I'm just like, I was reading a review with, oh man, why am I blanking on the director?
David Lowery.
David Lowery was like, I just want to make a movie where at the end of it, every audience member is smiling. And, you know, I understand that it didn't succeed for you four gentlemen, but for me, like, I smiled. I love it. And the other thing about this movie and what brought me to the movie is I'm just a Tom Waits mark. Like, that guy can go wrong. And
Tom Waits he's good in the movie.
His little monologue in that flick, like, it cracks me up every single time. Like, free sailor. Like, I love it. And then, and his interaction with Danny Glover is lovely and sweet. Like, him and Danny Glover, I don't know if you guys know this detail, they're both wearing the same style of glasses.
I did not notice.
Yeah, they're both wearing the falling down glasses. But I think that says a lot. You know, there's a lot of little details. Like, you know, when they're showing him in the '57 Chevy, you know, running away from the cops, right? Like, it's painted matte black on the outside, but the inside it's still foam green, right? Like, he's doing this terrible act of robbing a bank on the outside, but inside, like, he's just this little kid. And you know, I just kind of love it.
Okay, so that's it. You're done. I can interrupt now.
Please.
I would like to examine one of the things that you brought up. You said that I can't even. I just started talking. Go ahead.
You didn't raise your hand. I just wanted to point that out.
You can't even follow his own rules.
Oh shit, Gogs, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sean's right.
This is gonna be the most annoying episode. Sean, go ahead.
Thank you, Gogs.
All right. Yes, God. Go ahead.
Anytime.
Go ahead, Anthony.
TJ, go ahead.
Anyway, no. Something that you brought up, and and correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm speaking out of turn, please correct me. But in your purview, Anthony, the main character of the film is Casey Affleck, right? That's correct.
I think he's the guy who goes through. You could argue who's the main character. Forrest is definitely the main character, but I think, in the right, like it's told through Emily Blunt, but like she's not really the focus until it flips halfway through. So
to repeat that, you dropped out just slightly.
I said in the same way as in Sicario, they follow Emily Blunt through the first half of the movie. I think Forrest is. I would consider Forrest the main character, but I could also see. I think John has the arc. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hold on, Alec, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry I ever discovered the raise hand button.
It is pretty funny though. Gogs, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit the button.
Oh, God damn it! All right, Anthony.
I lowered my hand.
Now, God, Sean. Yes.
Oh, Gogs' hand button was still up, so I was just trying to tell him that he needs to take it off.
Anthony. So you just talked about the arc. Now, I think that a major problem that all of us had with this film is and you said that a central theme of this film is about a man, and in this case, it's Casey Affleck, and he's kind of realizing his purpose in his life, and that's his arc throughout the film, right? Robert Redford understands his purpose, and that's why he does what he does, because he knows who he is, and that's his life. But to me, watching, what the fuck now? The video again. It's going to cut out. But to me, Casey Affleck, he doesn't have growth. I feel like, in fact, Sean brought it up in his review, if I remember correctly, and I agreed with him. I feel like Casey Affleck's character is almost inconsequential to the film. Like, Sean, you can chime in. I saw you raise.
Oh, I just saw that Anthony went Jamie Madrox. There's two of them now, but no, my whole thing was, and I think he touched on it, and maybe this is another place where it splits, is like the movie just trades so much on like people loving Robert Redford. Like, yes, he's cool. I love Butch and Sundance. You know what I mean? I like Tom Waits. I like Down by Law. You know what I mean? It's almost like I would rather just look at a painting of Robert Redford for like 10 minutes than just watch a 2-hour portrait of him. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. But would you agree, like, going back to the Casey Affleck thing, do you see how he could be construed as the main character of the film? Because I don't. I really don't.
Because I don't see a lot of conflict. I guess there's, like, a very small amount, like, but there's no, like, and it would be tropey, but there's no real stress with his family. Like, there's nothing like, oh, he's just falling apart chasing this guy or whatever. I just don't see it. And, like, I found it, like, an interesting choice to make them have, like, a multiracial marriage in that era and not address it. Like, it just, it seemed like that would be an easy point of conflict, too, and maybe it's just kind of a subversive thing, or you just didn't think about it. But with everything else being so visually intentional, that seems like it would be, and maybe there's another version of this where there is more, like, strife with his family or something happens. But, again, like, I don't feel like his whole, I don't want to call it an arc, but his whole run in the movie is not super necessary to the story that they're telling.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony's connection is doo-doo. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Anthony, you're back. You had raised your hand, but then we lost you. You got to get some better internet out there. And now you're muted. You got to unmute your mic. This is why we don't have guests.
I'm wondering if there's a version of this movie where John David Washington has anything to do.
He was in the movie so little, I didn't even realize he was in the movie.
Do you think there's a longer cut of this movie? Do you think that's what the issue is?
Possibly. I don't know, though. You're still, there you go. You're not muted now. Go ahead, Anthony. Should be able to hear you now.
Most of that, even though I dropped out. So I will say this. This is why I love this movie. everything is very subtle. They do address his wife's race. There's a subtle scene where after he's in the bank where they basically, they already robbed the bank while he's in it. One cop looks at his wife when she comes to pick up the kids at the other cop and like is giving a disapproving look. So I think they do address it. And I think that's what this movie does great. I do think that it's very subtle in the way they talk about things, and all of the points that are moving forward are basically dialogue driven. So if you watch it on mute, I'd agree with you. But if you listen to the dialogue, it's almost like the dialogue is telling a different story and the visuals are telling, the classic bank robber story. So I do feel like, all those things are addressed. I can understand why you guys don't like it or disagree with it, but, Casey Affleck, at the end of the flick, his last scene, he's planting flowers in the garden, right? Like, to me, this is almost like too much on the nose. You know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't on the nose enough for, I guess.
Sure.
I
love this flick. I will put it on, I've probably seen it 20 times since it's come out, which is more than, if you actually do 20, it's a lot.
What turned you on to it initially? Like, what made you?
I wanted to watch Tom Waits in a bank robber movie.
You were watching all the David Lowery movies, if I remember.
No, this one started me. This is the first David Lowery movie I've seen. The only one I haven't seen is Ghost Story,
which is the best one. Which is crazy,
and it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
That's why I haven't watched it. I know it's brutal, and I think again, it's. I think Willem Dafoe came out with a quote talking about what's the last movie he did, Poor Things, and he's like,
I love that movie.
Yeah, exactly. But he's basically like, people won't watch this type of movie on streaming because when they come home from a long day, they don't want something that's like, difficult, and like that's why I haven't seen a Ghost Story, and that's why I love this movie, because it's not difficult. It's very lighthearted and fun, even though I think below the surface, the subtext is actually some heavy shit, but like on top of it, it's just a fun movie about Robert Redford being charming. Sean?
Subtext is for cowards.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's like you said. I
like super text.
Super text. Hey, you join the Navy.
But as we found out lately, as we found out lately, though, super text doesn't work because people are like, no, Starship Troopers is like, it is about fascism and it's good. It's like, what?
Dune 2 is about how awesome the CIA is.
Yeah. People are fucking stupid. Like, goddamn. I don't know, man. Like, I just didn't connect with this movie at all, and it's wild to me. Like, I get what you're saying about how. I mean, I love, I like understated films. Sometimes I feel like you might be reaching for things that aren't there. I don't know.
I will say this, and I think Sean nailed it on the head, right? We're all going through different, things in our life, and I do feel like, you can't watch a movie without bringing your own life into it. That's what we love about movies, right?
Of course, no man is an island. Absolutely.
And what's resonating with the movie to me, like, clearly didn't resonate with the four of you, and that's fine. That's a valid opinion, but part of the reason I wanted to come on the show, outside of just being a huge fan of, and I just wanted to talk to you guys since we missed TJ's birthday get together. But, I think the thing is like, there are listeners out there, and, I usually follow your opinion. If you guys hate something, I usually won't watch it. But I will say this, to the other fellow listeners.
Listener, basically. It's Brent.
Matt.
Yeah, I'm doing this, Brent. I thought it was clear. I love you, Brent. I think it's worth a watch. And, it's not that I'm not discrediting what you guys said about it. I just feel like there's a different thing that's going on with this movie. I do feel like this movie is kind of a master of subtlety, and it is something that I love about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I mean, you've stated your point pretty well, I guess. I obviously, you haven't swayed me. I wouldn't watch this movie again on a bet. But
yeah, I mean, anybody else things where I wouldn't be like, oh, that's wrong. This is wrong. There's no way you think that. It's just like, it just did not connect with me in that way at all. Like,
well, I think we all I think we all acknowledge that it's well acted, it's well, it's well made, it's well written. It's just it didn't captivate us.
Maybe part of it too was having to also watch All Is Lost, which is not the same movie, obviously, but like.
Did you like that movie, Anthony?
I liked that one.
No, I watched it years ago when it came out, and when you guys started reviewing it, I remember TJ being like, "We're watching All Is Lost," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Talk to me after the movie." And I said to him when you guys watched Get Carter, which also, oof.
Oh God, yeah,
that was bad.
Get Carter, but it's interesting, right? Because to me, in a lot of ways, like All Is Lost is very similar to Old Man and the Gun, because it's like another movie where Robert Redford's just kind of charming and good at things, and that's kind of the whole movie. Like,
again, I think the difference is that you don't have that, the reason, again, in Old Man and the Gun, I feel like the reason that he's so good at everything is it's basically, if Casey Affleck is saying, okay, what's my purpose in life, right? He's chasing after Robert Redford's character, right? So he's chasing after, Robert Redford basically reached Zen, right? He reached enlightenment. He's happy with what he's doing. This is what he does. This is his purpose in life. It doesn't matter. He lies to Jewel. He lies to people. He doesn't care about his kid. Like, this is what he does. So without that, who cares? Like, if he's just good at being a jerk, like, what's the point?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up before we move on to Madam Web?
In your read of the movie, Anthony, does he know about his daughter?
I'm glad you brought this up. He yelled at me about this.
This is not ambiguous in the movie. Casey Affleck gets a photo of him with his daughter as a baby and the daughter's mom. Like, she didn't know at the time, and then she did some digging, and then she sent him the photo. Like, yeah, he lies to Jewel when she's like, "Do you have any kids?" And this is kind of, again, the subtlety of this movie that I actually like upon, multiple rewatchings is he's not a perfect character, even though the movie portrays him as kind, which I love, but like, he's not perfect. He's actually kind of a scumbag, obviously, besides robbing banks. Like, he's not a good person. And I think that's the thing that I like about it.
Now, hold on. Now, this is where I'm going to have to challenge you on. Where in the movie paints him as like the greatest person ever. Everybody loves him. His estranged daughter is like, no, he's not that bad. It's like he's never. I think that was a lot of our complaints, right? There's no edge to his character. Like, I don't mean you have to.
What I'm saying is, it's all there for the audience member to ascertain. You're right. They do paint him. And to be fair, I think they paint every character in the movie, which is why I love it. They kind of give them all, they let the light shine on them, right? They're all painted in a positive light. You guys are right when you're like, there's no conflict. What I understand from that is, there's conflict, but it's inner conflict in Casey Affleck's character. You're right. There are no bad characters. They do paint everybody, even the bad characters, as good guys. And that's kind of what I love about it.
So is it really like a criticism of the depth of his character versus the surface level? Like, it's like, on the surface, everybody loves him, but deep down, he really is kind of a piece of shit, no matter, and he can't change his stripes?
No.
It's not that. Okay, well, I'm dumb.
I mean, maybe.
No, I don't think it is. I mean,
in your read of the movie, is Forrest aware that he's a piece of shit?
No, I don't think Forrest is a piece of shit. Let me clarify what I'm saying.
Or like, that has negative qualities, maybe.
Has negative qualities, and I think that's what I love about it, right? When you go through life, how many times have we fucked up? How many times have we messed up, but we want to do better? And ultimately, Forrest finds what he loves to do, and it makes him happy, and it actually makes everybody around him happy, right? The people that are getting robbed are like, what? They do that montage, and they're like, he's kind of a gentleman. He's kind of a gentleman, right? And I think that's the thing, right? Like, but at the same time, they're not sugarcoating what Forrest is doing. They're giving it to you, but they are making you say, you have to figure this out, right? Like, we're going to make it a happy, cute, wink and nudge in the shoulder type of a flick. But Forrest, one, he's robbing banks, so he's a bad guy, right? That's what I love about it. The whole analogy is tongue in cheek, right? He's a good guy robbing banks. You guys talked about the trope of
gentleman thief.
And again, this is where we differ. I love that trope.
I hate it.
And that's fine. I mean, you guys can hate it. I'm not saying you shouldn't hate it, but I'm just saying, like, that's why it works for me.
Yeah.
I think that trope is like of such an era. Like, I think somebody mentioned the Thomas Crown Affair, at least the original one, and that movie's cool as shit, and I love all the editing, and like, it was of its time. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me now, and maybe that's not the movie's fault, but
I feel like this movie is romanticizing another period of crime flicks. I think, Sean, you said it. You're like, oh, it's referencing 70s flicks, but it's cast in the 80s. And I think that's just, unfortunately, David Lowery had to deal with. It was a true story. But like, yeah, you're right? It is like the things that you don't like about it are the same reasons I like it. I think we're seeing the same thing. So
yeah,
it's broke.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Because we do have a lot to cover with Mountain
Well, before we get to Mountain Web, are we going to do the things we watched? Because I came prepared.
No, we're skipping it because we did the rebuttal. You're the one that complains about the episode being too damn long. So no.
When I'm on it.
No, we're not doing what we watched.
Anthony never gets to do what we watch. How many?
Let Anthony do it. Let him do it.
I just
things did you watch?
I could yell.
How many things did you watch, Anthony? If it's like 8, like fuck you. Or 2 things.
I've never been on the show before, so 785.
Yeah, it's got every movie.
43 years.
Let me go through my letterbox. I'm just gonna.
Can I do them? And I'll keep it to 2 minutes.
That's okay. Yeah, just go.
It's like
2 things.
Like
fine.
It's like Special Olympics when they let you shoot the 3-pointer at the All-Star game.
Yeah, like that.
You mean Make-A-Wish?
I think he's referring to Toronto Raptors swingman Scotty Barnes, the first autistic All-Star.
Is that video you sent to Sean?
Yeah. NBA, but I just was trying my hardest to throw in an NBA reference for Sean.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, I watched 2 things. First of all,
Predator. 2 things? Feel good, huh? Feels good.
I watched Predator 2. That movie fucking ripped.
Hell yeah.
I will say this about Predator 2. This is the best way to watch Predator 2. You got a bolognese cooking on the stove upstairs. You're in Geigs' basement. He's getting you high as fuck, and you watch Predator 2, and you realize it might be the best 80s action film ever.
Okay.
I'm on team vaguely Italian over there. Like, I really like Predator 2, especially been ripping blinkers all day.
Predator 2 is the sweatiest of the 80s movies, and I watched Predator 1, and that one's pretty sweaty, but Predator 2, those dudes are sweating. They're wet. They went through their shirt. They changed shirts all the time. They went through their jacket. Have you ever sweated? I've never seen sweat through a sports coat before.
Once at a wedding.
Yeah, you've never been around me at a wedding in July.
I feel like at Teet's wedding, I was sweating through my sport coat because it was like
no, you were sweating through your shirt like we all were. To get those pit stains on a sports coat is a lot of sweat, and that's why I love Predator 2.
Yeah, Predator 2. I wholeheartedly endorse anyone coming to my basement to watch Predator 2 and get silly because I do enjoy it.
Better fucking.
What was that, Alec?
Sorry, I was mid-swig of look. I'm an aide. I think it better be a fucking bolognese cooking if I'm coming to watch Predator 2 at your house.
Dude, I'll rip up a bolognese.
Thank you.
Listen,
the Dixie Flatline. What is going on over there?
I will say this. Let me know. Boski, let me know. Me and guys will prepare you a bolognese. You come over, and we'll all have white sauce and watch Predator 2 together.
Sean and I aren't invited, apparently, but it's cool.
Not pie zones. Well, you know.
Not pie zone.
The P zone? Like the Pizza Hut?
I'm the most Italian person I know.
And I know at least 4 people.
Every time I see Alec, he does scream at me, "Hey, I'm walking here." All right, what was the other thing you watched, Anthony?
I rewatched Killing Them Softly. Have you guys seen this flick?
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Brad Pitt one.
Yeah, Brad Pitt with Tony.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy that made the movie with the impossible title, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
That
I like that movie a lot too. Have you seen that movie, Anthony?
I got to rewatch that. I saw it when I was a kid, but like I fell asleep. I don't think I gave it a fair.
That movie came out in like 2015.
Just keep feeding Casey Affleck women to beat so he can keep acting. Man, that guy's good. Oh, I didn't fucking do it. What are you on me about?
I know. God. Anyway, go ahead.
Inside Me was a documentary.
That was a good movie too.
Yeah, he beat that woman's ass.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, first of all, the assassination of Jesse James came out in 2007, not 2015.
That's close enough. You weren't a kid when it came out.
I was
Technically.
Huh?
I was 26. I was young.
That is by no definition a child, but go ahead.
He has the mind of a child.
Oh, he certainly has the mind of a child.
Yes, clearly.
So you didn't like killing them softly?
No. Okay, here's the thing. I watched it. I remember seeing it in the theater. And I think the problem with it that I have is it's, they do that whole metaphor of like, oh, crime is like the bailout money that they gave the banks. And it's constantly force-fed. It's the same problem I have with natural-born killers. You know what I mean? It's
no, I get it. I do get it.
I flat out don't like that movie.
It did not age well.
But I think I think Pitt's great in it. I think Richard Jenkins is great in it. Yeah, Richard Jenkins is great in everything.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, especially the Chris Klein movie.
I don't think I ever saw Killing Them Softly, but every time I see the poster, it makes me think of Out of the Furnace. And I was like, I loved Out of the Furnace.
Now that movie.
Oh, Out of the Furnace is way better than Killing Them Softly.
Yeah,
agreed.
Way really good.
Yeah.
We reviewed that on the show, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
I might watch Killing Them Softly out of respect for Anthony and his opinion that he doesn't care for it.
I think Killing Them Softly, after the rewatch, I'm like, oh, the same problems I had with it are still there. But if they took those parts out, I think that there's a great scene at the end with Pitt and Richard Jenkins when they talk about America.
Yeah.
They could have just let that in without the overdubs. There's a lot of overdubs of George Bush and Obama talking about the bailouts throughout the movie, where it's just anytime there's not a person talking or getting killed, there's an overdub, and it's just for me
it's a little heavy-handed. I agree.
What is the fucking Akira movie with Scarlett Johansson where it's these animals have sex, and then it cuts to a nature documentary?
What is that?
The fucking Luc Besson movie.
Lucy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie sucks. Yeah, that movie is rough.
Wasn't she in Akira? Or what was she in?
No, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
That movie slapped.
Which is not bad.
I'll die on that hill.
So I think the movie looks terrible, but the Crow reboot that's coming out, it's by the same director as the Ghost in the Shell movie. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance now, because that Ghost in the Shell movie is underrated. I don't care what anybody says. It's not bad.
No, it's totally watchable.
It's a very remade though.
It is a very decent cyberpunk action movie. I think it's pretty well done.
Does it follow that?
Yeah, I mean loosely. I mean it doesn't. It's the same basic premise as
Michael Wincott, so that automatically makes it okay.
Let's get on to Spider-Man.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Alec. We didn't watch Spider-Man. There was Spider-Man in this whole fucking movie.
There was a bad guy Spider-Man.
There were several. There was a guy in a universe without Spider-Man that for some reason was wearing a Spider-Man costume.
Yep, there was a spidered man, and then there were
there was a group that lived in the South American jungle that were literally called the Spiders in Spanish. I know enough Spanish to know that.
Which is also the girl's name, and also they were dressed up like fucking J-Lo in The Cell and Vincent D'Onofrio's dreams and all that shit on.
Also, that motherfucker, the head guy. 30 years ago, he's wearing the Cell costume, but then in the present day, he's just wearing business casual outfit.
Yeah.
For some reason,
and why did they
Surge from System of a Down?
Why did they cast him and the villain to look almost identical?
I thought they were the same person for a minute.
Also, the villain was ADR'd the whole movie, right?
Yes,
TJ and I were trying to figure it out if it was a filter or, yeah.
All right. Gogs.
Oh.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, here we go.
Good fucking luck.
Hey, do you like origin stories? How about 4 of them? Maybe 5.
Four of them.
Origin story.
And an origin story that's building towards another origin story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they didn't even get their fucking powers by the end of the movie.
God, this
Ben Parker, meet baby Peter Parker and Madam Web.
Yeah, all right, so here we go.
Go ahead, Gog. Good luck, buddy.
So a woman named Webb studies spiders. And
Cassandra Webb. Or no.
Yeah,
no,
Cassandra
Webb Sr.
Yeah. So, anywho, she's down in, let's just call it Brazil. And
the movie opens in Peru. Bro, it's arachnophobia. The first 20 minutes of this movie is arachnophobia.
Okay, I was
also Morbius.
Guys has ever seen arachnophobia.
This movie,
really?
I love that movie. It was my pick for John Goodmarch. Go ahead.
Right off the jump, this movie looks so bad. Like the way this movie is shot looks so bad.
Aranya arms are like maybe the worst special effect I've seen in 10 years.
I literally said out loud, no one could have approved of this. Like during some of the shots, like
there's so many like weird like kind of half push-ins is the best way I can describe it.
Sometimes that's all I got, bud.
It looks like an asylum film. This movie is so badly put together.
It looks terrible. Like,
it looks like Elektra. Like it looks like that era of Daredevil.
But let's just get through it, then we can drag it. Okay, so
I thought you were going to say we could jerk it off.
Hell yeah.
So anyway,
jerking it. That's the After Dark, Anthony. We all just start jerking off.
So anyway, this broad is down in Peru, I suppose. I'm not going to two-hands it. And she's down there looking for super spiders, which is taking away all the mystery of the Spider-Man. And then she finds the super spiders, and then her security guard assistant goes ham on everyone and then kills everyone and shoots this broad in the chest and takes her super spider. And then he absconds back to the town. So then the spider people of legend and the treetops hustle down and give birth to her in a tree pool, I guess.
Well, technically, the mother gives birth to her, but yeah.
Fine. So they jam her full of spider venom, and then they give birth to a baby, and then
also,
they get
pause. In case it gets glazed over, the reason she wants the spider venom is to cure her daughter's muscular dystrophy?
No, her baby's going to die in utero because of some disease you find out later. Yes, TJ.
She drank it's Dune. The baby gets the water of life.
Yeah, she got the water of life from the spider, right? So now
it's literally Dune.
I guess he's
Anthony raised his hand now.
For fuck's sake, yes, Anthony.
What a surprise! TJ says a movie is exactly like Dune.
It is like Dune. It's literally it's the same fucking thing. They give them the poison.
Anyway, these undiscovered people,
they are certainly discovered.
Into the podcast trope.
Well,
everything is Dune.
Whatever. I'm going to call them undiscovered people because they haven't discovered zippers, and
thanks, Christopher Columbus.
They decided to FedEx this orphan back to New York, I guess.
Yeah, not explained.
That's true. I didn't think about that. She ends up being fostered by who knows, and then now she has attachment issues, and she saves lives and doesn't want to get cute drawings about it. So then her innate spider, I guess she's got Spidey.
Pause.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm not the hero here. The person who did all the work is Ben Parker over here, actual line in the movie.
Do you know what's wild is to watch her acting next to Adam Scott, and Adam Scott is trying, and it's like, what is happening?
Oh, yeah. Dakota Johnson did not want to be there. I have never seen less enthusiastic line delivery in my life. Like, there's a call at the end of the movie where, like, the villain's like, you're just like your mother, and she's like, I am.
It's like, what? To call her performance flat and wooden is an insult to boards because she is fucking terrible in this movie. Anyway, so she's saving lives reluctantly, and then she has innate super spider sense, which lets her, gives her the sight beyond sight or whatever. She's the Lisan al-Gaib, and she can see the future. She gets none of the other fun spider powers, but she can see the future. And then you get ADR Steve, and he's like, oh, snap, I keep having dreams.
His name is Ezekiel.
I don't give a rat's ass. And he's like,
the worst actor I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Right. He's got, like, what's her name? He's like Michael Wincott in The Crow, sleeping next to the lady, and he's like, Bai Ling, and he's like, I'm plagued by dreams every night of these three broads killing me. And then he's like, oh, let me just explain what they look like to this hacker lady who has managed to infiltrate all cameras everywhere and then figure out who these three people are. And then I'm going to put together a cobbled together Spider-Man uniform, and then I'm going to go annihilate these ladies. Meanwhile,
God, his hacker buddy, from the description in his dreams, had a photorealistic picture of all three of them in their Spider-Man costumes.
How?
And then they're like,
and then she
we need to
them 10 years.
But they're there.
Well, these are teenagers. It's like, is that where we're drawing the line? Like, this is a problem now?
He gives a description of three masked women from his dream, and then the CIA manages to walk it back to these three unrelated teenagers. So now Dakota Johnson is making peace with the fact that she can see the future, and she starts defending these ladies from this Spider-Man. She defends them on
Mike Epps.
She defends them on a subway train, and then she hits somebody with a truck.
Can we talk about
so many people with trucks?
The unnatural amount of time that Dakota Johnson is carrying the skateboard. Like, she will not put it down. It's like 15 minutes.
And then I was kind of out of my mind when I was watching this. So then I ended up in a campsite, and she's like, don't go anywhere. I'm going to Peru, I think. And
she's like, stay in the woods. Stay in the woods for a few hours.
Yes,
I'll
Anthony,
come back.
Stop. Anthony's raised his hand.
Can we talk about the campfire? Did you guys notice?
Oh, did I notice? Yes.
When they're in the woods, so I don't know. It's what, springtime? Something like early summer. They're wearing mid. No one's really wearing a jacket. It's obviously warm, right?
Yeah.
They light a fire.
Yeah, light a fire sometimes at summer camp, sure.
Okay, well, here's the thing about the fire. When they leave the diner, and the camera kind of lingers on the fire, like they leave, and they don't put the fire out.
They're just
why would
kids.
You light it?
They're just kids looking to party, and so they go to a local diner where a men's volleyball team is hanging out, and maybe they burnt down the forest, but that gives the firefighters something to do.
Real quick,
they start table dancing for no reason.
You brought up the table dance scene. Can we talk about Dakota Johnson coming in like, you're so irresponsible. I can't believe you. It's like, bitch, I've known you for 10 minutes and you left me in the woods. Like,
you left me in the woods. You left me in the woods to go to Peru.
How did you glean this information about us?
She went to her apartment, to be fair. She went to her apartment.
At some point, she leaves them somewhere and goes to Peru.
And she's there in like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a little later.
And then she meets them at the part where she goes. So then she goes to Peru. And she has a picture that her mom took, maybe, that somehow, I guess, got stapled to her where they FedExed her back to the States as a baby. And she finds that tree 18 years later, no growth, no change. And she's like, oh, and then not the bad guy.
She finds a buried replicant baby underneath of it.
The bad guy bamps in and goes, I told your mother I'd wait for you here. And I'm like,
but again, the guy, that's the head Spider-Man, that now he's not in his, like, tribal gear. He's literally in, like,
street clothes.
Yeah, he's in, like, business casual clothes for some reason. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's fucking Pepe Parker or whatever his name is. And now he's hanging out. Right. Hey, what do you want me to do? It's Peru. And now
Pepe Parker.
So they go.
Also, Parker is they're real careful. They never drop the Peter Parker in this movie. They come real close. They
come very close. Oh, meanwhile, you find out that Adam Scott's. Yes.
Do you want to guess his name?
What is his name?
Do you want to guess his name?
No. What is
talking about the Peruvian guy?
Steve.
No, but they do that terrible fucking scene.
The baby shower. Yeah.
That shit is so bad. Every time they do like her future vision, it's like the most awful thing.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, she goes to a baby shower with Mike. Yes, he gets annihilated by a truck. I forgot about that.
There is way too much uncle play in this movie for me. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, when has an uncle ever been so goddamn involved? And it's not even like his sister, right? It's his
his brother's wife's kid.
Yeah.
Right. So
like,
now,
come on, dude.
So anyway, yeah.
Also,
so
they don't say
Mary,
May at all, do they? They imply her, but they don't. Do they actually name May?
He's in a relationship with someone, but didn't bring
Can they
out.
not say that?
I don't know. They own the rights. They said
right.
They say he's seeing someone.
So why are we being all fucking cute about it?
Because Marissa Tomei, they couldn't make her fee.
All their weird contractual stuff with the MCU, they might have certain things they can't use. I mean, that's why they're making all these shitty movies.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like that might have been part of their agreement for the MCU that they can't say Peter or May, but you can say Ben. I don't know, because Ben's never been in the MCU movies at all. He's just been
you're right.
alluded to. He's never even been mentioned, I don't think. But like, I was trying to explain to Stacy last night as we watched this monumentous pile
you put your wife through this? God damn, what a woman. I can't believe you do that to that sweet woman.
I know. I'm awful. But I was trying to explain some of it, and she kept asking questions. I'm trying to explain some of the stuff to her, and finally I was like, honestly, I don't know. Like, it makes no sense.
Right, yeah.
Like, this movie makes no sense. Why they even attempted to make it makes no sense.
It would be so funny if they made the multiverse Spider-Man movie just so Sony couldn't use any of those characters. Like, fuck it. So put them all in here. Good luck with Kraven and whatever the fuck.
It's just funny because, like, I think...
Well, no, wait a minute, because they use Dr. Octopus and Aunt May and fucking Spider-Verse.
Green Goblin.
And that's a Sony. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of them in that. Anyway. So she goes to Peru. She finds out more about her mom. Then it means nothing. And then she comes back to the town. And then when do we get to the fireworks factory? Well,
I fucking died.
Spoiler alert, you don't get to the fireworks factory.
She lands back.
Literally.
Literally lands at exactly the right time that, what's her name goes into labor. Literally, they're on the way to take her to the hospital as she lands and steals an ambo to go try to save them.
Yeah. So Mary Parker goes into labor, and all the girls are there. She parked in with Ben Parker, and he's like, "I'm not even the dad." And then they go. End up in a fireworks factory, and she clairvoyants her way through a barrage of explosions. Oh. She hits a guy with a truck again, and then
that's her gig. Like that's
her MO. That's her superpower.
I got a question for Alec. I don't have time to hit the hand thing. Alec.
Yes.
Ezekiel has roughly the same powers, if not more so, than regular Spider-Man, as you understand it.
He not more so, because I was reading all about him last night. Because I remember him from the stories. He got the powers from like some animal totem thing, but then he squandered them for years and wasted them using his powers to help him amass a fortune instead of helping people.
He didn't get his powers from the spider?
My follow-up question to this, as the resident Spider-Man scholar, would a fucking neon letter landing on him kill him?
Probably not.
Okay.
Anthony,
probably not.
Go ahead.
He's like, from what I understand and what I read, like at his peak, he would have been like equal to Spider-Man, but he probably never would have beat him because he didn't have the same like moral compass and drive and blah blah, all the Uncle Ben stuff. But like Ezekiel from the comics is much different than this Ezekiel. The comics didn't get bitten by a spider. He sought out some
magic.
Did you get hit by a Peruvian man?
A Peruvian spider. He got bitten by a radioactive Spider-Man.
Got bitten by a radioactive pig.
I mean, whom amongst us? You know what I mean? Anthony.
The thing that I didn't understand is Ezekiel.
Oh, there's just one thing. There's just one thing you didn't understand.
There's plenty. Well, like he can see the future, and it's like, oh, these girls killed me, but he can't see the future where Madame Web kills him. Like,
right, because she's a future bender.
Is she immune to shit? Like, she has some kind of, like, is she a blind spot in the future?
Psychic armor.
She's like what Ozymandias did to Dr. Manhattan. She has like a tachyon field around her or something.
Also, plot armor.
It's just a plot armor.
Now, let's get to the part where she becomes Oracle or whatever, and so we can get...
She catches some Chinese sky candy to the face, and then they all wake up in the hospital, and now she's talking stupid, and the girls are there too, but Ezekiel's dead, and now she's the Madam Web, and that's it.
I like the movie. They butcher the great responsibility line like 5 different times, 5 different ways. Just to not actually say the line the way it's written.
When you take responsibility, then you will get great power. It's like,
what? The funniest part of this
is great. Power? No.
The funniest part of this movie was TJ texting me. We're talking about Venom, and it autocorrected to Venmo, and that made me really laugh.
We are Venmo.
Dude, this movie is incompetent.
Why?
That's the biggest question I have, right? Why? And the thing is, like, they, like, in theory, right, if you give me, like, let's just say you take out Madam Web, right, and you give me a movie about 3 young spider women trying to figure out their powers, that's kind of interesting. I would like to watch that.
The taking clips of them with their powers are the most entertaining part of this entire movie.
Because that Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman outfit is the fucking best. Like, I think we could all...
And to the movie's credit, like, it looks pretty good in the movie. Like, for the 2 seconds you see it, like, they did a good job.
But, like, I was telling TJ, and I don't know if anybody else had the same problem, it's like, just start it, like, in media res. Like, just have them already in the suits. Like, I don't give a fuck about their, like, weird origin. Like, oh, my dad got deported. Like,
it's not even, like, a full origin.
We're all easily adoptable, is basically what it is.
My mom was a spider.
But they don't even get their powers by the end of the movie. It's so fucking confusing. Like, by the end of the movie, there's still just 3 teenage girls, and Madam Web's like, oh, well, in the future, I see you guys fighting for justice. It's like,
I mean, not for nothing, wouldn't she have disturbed the threads of time so much that it would throw them off of that course?
What is this leading to? Is there some kind of, like, connective tissue to Venom and all the other fucking movies, or is this just on an aisle? Is, like... TJ, I think, or maybe Gogs, but definitely TJ. We're talking about fucking, like, when's the last time a franchise has really taken off? Like, they've been throwing Sony, DC, even Marvel lately. It's like, none of this shit is working. Like, just stop. Just make a movie. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't...
And the whole idea of making, like, this universe without Spider-Man is just so flawed, and everyone sees it. Like, and I think Sony fucked up because... They're like, well, Venom did well. And it's like, yeah, but Venom, or Venmo as I like to call him, is an established character of his own, right? Like, Venom is the character people like. Now, and I know he is a foil to Spider-Man, but, like, people know Venom outside of Spider-Man. He's a very recognizable character. Whereas, like, you know, is like, hey, who's your favorite Spider-Man villain? Kraven the Hunter. Can't wait to watch that movie. Like,
yeah,
you know,
there's never been that I know of, like, a Morbius solo run, or like a Kraven.
It didn't last very long. yeah. There was a Morbius comic. Remember the 90s? There was
even the good Kraven shit. Like, they can't do Kraven's Last Hunt, like, because they can't use Spider-Man. So, like, what is the point?
Also, if they ever did that, I mean, that'd be badass because he kills himself at the end of that run.
No, they would fuck it all up. The problem. Like, I think Alec has talked about it, and I have to use $20.99 if you can, or do Spider-Man Reign. Do something like Reign. I fucking love that story. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
I love Spider-Man Reign. Spider-Man Reign's great, but again, it's way too dark for them to do. I mean, it's like,
who gives a shit? It's gonna make more than $50.
yeah, it'll make more than this.
This made money, technically.
Yeah, but they'll water it down. They'll water it down, and they won't talk about the spider jizz.
Oh, in case you couldn't tell,
89 on an 80 million. It
lost. That's a humongous bomb.
Yeah,
like, it has to make at least like 2.5 times its budget. the people that wrote this movie also wrote Morbius, which you could tell because it was just Morbius for girls, and they also wrote Gods of Egypt, and I think The Last Witch Hunter is like the best movie they wrote. So
boy. Yeah. And me and Sean were talking about this. Like, it's wild how many bad movies have we watched on the show, and then we go, well, what else did they make? And it's always like shit. And it's just crazy that these guys, they just fail up. And Sean said it was like the NFL, and I think he's right. Like, these guys probably make friends with producers, they make friends with directors, and like, oh, this guy's a good guy. Like, let's just put this, because they don't, at the end of the day, they don't give a shit. I'm not trying to be like, I know all movies are out to make money and all, but like, there's no art in these fucking movies, right? Like,
why do they
just
think that, but like, if they go back and look at all their spreadsheets and shit, like, where did they think this was going to make money? They already missed the kind of like.
Oh, you there? Sean?
Did he get bricked up?
Oh, he got bricked up.
I think
like
they're
already the Wonder Woman, and then like you saw the diminishing returns of Captain Marvel. Like,
yeah, repeat what you said. You said they missed the momentum of, and then we lost you.
Yeah, they missed that kind of like that moment of zeitgeist with like the girl boss stuff with Wonder Woman and with Captain Marvel. That's kind of declined, and I'm not saying that because it's women, but like that kind of cynical like cash grab for like women-led movies is over. So like. What is the target demo for this? Like, people that like Spider-Man aren't going to like it. People that like movies as, entertainment will like it. Like I was watching a YouTube video, and they're talking about how young people don't really watch movies in the same way anymore. It's like, it's TikTok or whatever. Like cinema as an art is going to die at some point, right? Or it's going to be very different than what it is now. And like, this shit ain't helping. Like, it's just like, where was the money coming from? It's halfway through this movie.
This was trying to fill the Batgirl-sized hole in our hearts.
Like, there's no way that Batgirl movie's worse than this, right? Like,
there's no way.
There's no way
that Batgirl movie is worse than 100 movies that came out in the past year and a half. There's zero chance.
The only way this movie, I could see this movie. Well, hang on, real quick, and then Anthony can go. Like the only way I see this movie making money is halfway through it just turns into like Jen Xiaoping's birthday party. Like, it's just all like glorifying the People's Republic of China or some shit. Because like, I have no idea other.
Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I raised my hand, and Sean made a good point. And while I was watching this movie, I was like, who is it for? We were talking about the old man and the gun, and I was like, okay, we had it for an opinion. Like, who can I recommend this to? I don't think I can recommend this movie to anybody. Who
don't you like?
Well, they're not going to watch it if I recommend it, if they don't like it. But, like, it's not good. It's not for... who is it for?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a movie for no one. And it's also just devoid of any, like, it's one thing to be, like, just bad, but every aspect of this movie is bad. The script is bad, the direction's bad, the acting is bad, like, everything is bad. At one point, like, this movie is so incompetently made, at one point when they walk from the camp, they walk from the woods to the diner, there's just a song that starts playing on their walk for, like, no reason. And it's like...
It's establishing the time period.
Is that what it's doing?
It's Toxic by Britney Spears.
No, Toxic starts later when they go back to that scene. They play another song in between the walk to the diner.
Well, they also play like the Bangles or something so that she's supposed to be older because everybody's the same age in this movie, despite what their characters should be.
Right, yeah.
I think apparently the original script was supposed to be darker and more Terminator inspired. That would have seen
that would be something.
Hang on. Madam Web and the Spider-Women trying to protect a pregnant Mary Parker from a time-traveling Ezekiel who wants to kill her to prevent the birth of Peter Parker, which would have made
a better movie. I like that movie so much more.
That sounds awesome.
That's way better.
Dope. I think, Anthony was saying, we're all kind of talking about with the audience, like, this isn't like 1994, so there's no toys, there's no video game, there's no streaming series to support. It's certainly not to support a comic book. So, like, I don't get it. I don't get the thrust of the movie at all.
Yeah,
No one does. That's why it's failing.
And now I'm mad because that premise Alex just said is way better. Because then you could actually have like an action movie. Like you have like I assume in that script, the 3 spider girls had powers, and that would have been cool. Like you could actually had like that's a good idea, actually. I dare to say that's not a bad idea. It's derivative, but it's something.
Hell, I mean, Terminator rocks. It's like the Predator movies. Just keep making Terminator in a different setting. Like, who gives a shit?
Up to Gogs, Terminator 2 is a terrible movie, so.
Terminator rules. Terminator rules.
But it's just like Predator. Keep making the Predator movies like Prey, just in different settings with the same basic plot. Like, who gives a shit? It's awesome, and it's gonna rock. Make a Spider-Woman. I mean, I guess the point of Madam Web still wouldn't have made fucking sense, but.
Well, just take your $90 million, cut it in thirds, and make 3 wildly different movies if you want. You know what I mean? You own the property, just fucking do something. But it's the same fucking movie over and over.
Can someone tell me what Madam Web's purpose is in the greater MCU? Like in comics, not necessarily in the cinematic. So not the MCU, the Marvel Universe.
She's barely blind. She's barely in the comics, dude. She's like barely in the comics.
She was a staple in the 90s for a while, and then she kind of went away. I don't even know if I think she was in the Spider-Verse stuff a little bit.
But what did she do?
But there was she
does the future, Gogs.
God, Spider. I mean, remember, comics are stupid.
Yeah.
But she was like the caretaker of like the web of life or some shit.
Yeah.
And she would protect like the web of reality or life or whatever they would call it. And sometimes when she couldn't handle shit, she would call Spider-Man to come help her.
See, I think it'd be more interesting if she's like sitting in like that future web and just seeing the different strands of like all this bullshit multiverse playing out. Yeah, and kind of like trying to fix it as it goes or something. I know it's like sounds like Quantum Leap, but like something.
I mean, that's something. It's something. Again, anything is better than what we got. And
so I had like this weird. It might have been actual like a fever dream, but I was like, is she like the source of? She's not the source of all the spider sense intuition, is she? Like psychically, like she's not the reason that Spider-Man and other spider people get Spidey sense, because that's effectively a very short-term ability to predict the future.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay. If they did that, at least it would give her some purpose. There's no purpose to her at all in this movie.
Well,
exactly.
They made Birds of Prey is what it turned into at the end. Like, she's going to be the Oracle, and the 3 of them are going to be the Birds of Prey. Like, that's the fucking setup.
Also, that
movie all it is.
Much better than this.
Oh, yeah, 1,000,000%. Like, I don't love it, but it's like
I love
a
that movie. Actually.
Do you love it?
I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah.
You talking about the Harley Quinn movie?
Yeah. I like it.
That's like the second best DC movie of the
It's a lot of fun.
The Nolan era.
It's one of those movies I watched, and I was like, why do people hate this so much? I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's like that, Shazam, and Suicide Squad.
It's not perfect.
Suicide Squad.
Or Black Adam.
Anything else?
Dakota Johnson's parents are Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson?
Yeah. How did you not know that?
I had no idea. I just thought she had name.
She's the ultimate Nepo baby.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
She's the new Kate Hudson.
She's also, it's funny because she also gets really upset. Like, remember a couple of years ago when that, like, Nepo baby, like, it was, like, going around about Nepo? She's, like, one of the most outspoken people about it, and it's hilarious because she's benefited from it the most.
Yeah. She's so bad.
She's good in some stuff. She's good in that Suspiria remake. She just did not give a fuck in this goddamn movie.
This will be my last thing because we don't need to belabor all these ones this long. But, like, the fact that they're all, like, 28 really doesn't do the movie very well. I know Adam Scott's, like, 50, but, like, I feel like this character works better if she's way older, like, noticeably older, but it's just
I totally agree. Well, it's like you said in a text, Sean. It's like, you said that I know no woman in Hollywood now can visibly be over 35, and you're totally right, because, like, this movie works if she either she's much older or the 3 Spider Girls are actually teenagers.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, God. In the comics, Madam Web is, like, ancient.
Yeah.
She's, like, 150 years old.
Oh.
She's not a young lady.
And like, I know that Sydney Sweeney plays a high schooler in Euphoria, but like, she's obviously like in her late 20s, early 30s. Like,
well, that's why they put her in like a schoolgirl outfit with glasses on and shit to make her look super young.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with the other two actresses. I kind of felt bad for them because like they were trying. Like it's like they're not given anything.
Well, it's like their big break, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. They were fine. Again, like you could tell they were trying, but there was nothing there. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just
wait. Can we? For some reason, this came to me, and I just want to bring it up to see if anyone else caught on to it. There's a scene where Ezekiel learns of Cassandra Webb, and he's like, "Did you say Webb?" As if that is not like one of probably the most common last names in the entire United States, and he immediately was like, "That's not possible." Like,
wasn't the director of the last
Mark Webb? Yeah, the guy who made 500 Days of Summer.
Yeah.
Like this lady directed a movie called Toast, and I think that's it. Like,
she has no other movie credits. She has TV. That's it.
She doesn't
gotta
even
start
deserve
somewhere.
It. Yeah. Well, or in this case, start and end. Hopefully.
S.J. Clarkson, go get bent. Like, don't do anything else. You're terrible.
Fuck you, bitch.
Also, this movie had like 5 credited screenwriters.
Worth every one of them.
But he probably goes back to what Alex said, because there's probably like
it takes
other script.
TJ, it takes 5 people to carry a coffin. Like
that was a good one. That was a good one. I don't think I'm going to talk. All right. Anything else I'm going to talk about before we get into scores? Okay. Special guest Anthony, go ahead.
I give it a 2 for being under 2 hours, but really it's for a lot.
For 2 hours.
I like that. It is barely under 2 hours. This movie is long.
I got to be honest with you. Anything that's under 2 hours in this day and age, you get elevated 2 points for.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
It's like I said. It's not for me, and I can't recommend it to anybody. So I don't really understand.
Oh, it's not for anybody.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. It's just like,
it's a tax shelter.
It's for Sony executives to sell to like an airline or something. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of weird like scam here somewhere.
This is the thing we didn't talk about, but like, why did those 3 women, like, what's their purpose? For justice, they're just like, oh, they're gonna kill me. It's like, did you ever ask yourself, why are these 3 women going to kill me? Like, what's going on?
Stop doing nefarious shit.
Hey, why?
Yeah, stop hiring the 4th lead from Girls to be your guy in the chair.
Oh shit, that is who that was. Good job, Alec.
Yeah. I filled my time.
All right. You got to pass the mic. You know the rules. You listen to the show.
Boski.
It's gonna get a 3. One
for 3 tips.
One for Aranya's costume. One for Maddie Franklin's Spider-Woman costumes, and one for, I don't know why the fuck they named her Julia Cornwall in the fucking movie.
Why did they change her name? Thank you. I forgot about that.
But one for the Julia Carpenter costume, because when they were in those costumes, they looked dope as shit. Those costumes fucking rock, except for those
spider arms.
8-arm spider arm
real
things
bad,
when they were out. But when they were just in the costumes fighting him, and that little scene at the end where they were in, like, those costumes looked awesome. Like, the costume design was tremendous. And, like, that Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman costume was, like, the one that I remember from just being a kid before Jessica Drew came around and had the red and yellow one. But that's it. Like, this movie sucks. Like, in the comics, Ezekiel is basically a good guy. Like, why would you... I just don't understand.
They ran out of dudes.
Not really. There's so many dudes.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, and you
want to change this movie slightly and make it infinitely better. Have Vincent D'Onofrio be the Kingpin, and he's doing the same exact thing as Ezekiel without all the flippy Spider-Man shit. He can get hit by a truck and take it,
Or he's just sending like assassins after them or something.
Yeah.
Like ninjas.
Bullseye and shit.
Not even Bullseye. Use some of the stupider ones, like the Rose. Who remembers the Rose?
Oh, I love the Rose. He had the white suit and the guns. He's cool looking.
Get Night Watch.
Night Watch. Hell yeah. They're making a Night Watch movie.
Fucking Cardiac.
Cardiac. Oh my God. Fucking Cardiac, bro.
Night Thrasher.
Man. Yes, Anthony.
Okay. TJ, what's your favorite 90s movie featuring all-girl band?
Is it Josie and the Pussycats?
Yes.
That's okay. Early 2000s.
Pussycat vibes from this movie?
No, because I like that movie.
Okay, but like, are we not going to mention the obvious, like, hey, Pepsi paid for this movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're talking about product placement, oh my God, yeah. It's bad. That Josie and the Pussycats movie is full of product placement.
It was also Pepsi, wasn't it?
It was Pepsi. And famous guitars and,
They sell Pepsi, and I'm like, who doesn't drink Pepsi at this point?
I was reading this thing about the product placement with the Pepsi. Apparently, this was released by
Coke
Sony.
was like, fuck you.
But it was released by Sony under Paramount, maybe?
Probably.
I can't remember what studio. I can't remember the studios. But apparently, whatever studio was that released it, not Sony, but whatever they're the parent of that actually released it or filmed it or whatever. Apparently, at one point, Coke owned the studio.
Oh, no
and
shit.
Made sure Coke was in all their movies. But now they're not owned by Coke anymore. And they got Pepsi as a sponsor for this movie.
I'm waiting for Royal Crown to make a big splash in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Like, who's it for? It's really just for people that drink Coke that want to switch to Pepsi. That's it.
The best thing about Pepsi is that they make Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that is correct. In fact, they should just rebrand. It should be all Mountain Dew.
I found out that Baja Blast tastes like tequila.
It tastes like margarita. Baja Blast tastes like margaritas, yes. That's why it's so good. It's margarita soda.
So
it's the best soda ever made.
I gave it a 3. Sean?
It's a 1 because there was one joke I did kind of laugh at where they're at that horrible bridal shower and it's like, well, what about your mom's like, huh? Oh, my mom's dead. Like a dead mom.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Like that was okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, that was. Yeah, a lot of women die during childbirth. At a baby shower,
like that was fine. But like again, we're beating it. Like there's no audience for it. Like she's not old enough to be this grizzled, or like I don't buy her as grizzled because she's too like cute. You know what I mean? Everybody seems like they're the same age. I don't know what the villain's doing besides like buying the NSA or something. Like I thought this was going to turn into like an enemy of the state kind of thing for a second, but that would actually require something. It's fucking Morbius, and it's also kind of Venom, but Venom's fun. And I didn't enjoy this at all. It is like nigh unwatchable.
There is nothing fun about this. Even Morbius had like its moments that were at least funny because it's so stupid. This doesn't. Right. This has like no action at all.
No, Morbius had memes that were funny, but we watched that movie and it was
not funny. Yeah, true.
Have sex.
Oh yeah, see that was funny. The dance, the Doctor Who dance.
Oh yeah, have sex. Have sex. Poop your pants again. Poop your pants again or whatever. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of over it with movies at this point. Like
fuck movies.
Goggles.
Y'all are being far too fucking generous. This is a 0, and you all know it's a 0.
Sean just gave it a 1.
This movie is incorrect. Do you know how zeros work? Sean gave it infinitely more numbers than I just gave it. This movie sucks. Shit. Cover to cover, fucking garbage.
Numbers when they're multiplied by 0, and then it just gets like blown away.
Yeah. Yes, Anthony.
I want to take the opportunity to say this. It sucks where it fucks, and it fucks.
This movie, you're correct. This movie sucks a pile of shit. This is terrible. Everyone in this movie should never work again, and that includes craft service.
In jail.
Like this movie sucks.
God is sending the caterers to jail. They had nothing to do with the production.
They fed these fuckers. Listen, this movie, somebody looked at the dailies of this because you know what? I love how little.
Oh no, they shot this in an afternoon. Those are dailies. It was just
this felt like a U-Bowl production. This felt like it was shot in like a long weekend. Like
it was shot on a Nokia Sidekick. It looks like garbage. Like this movie sucks. There's nothing redeemable about it.
Put that on the box.
Watch it. This movie sucks. like even the parts that are good are only good in service of how much they suck. Like everything sucks in this movie. Like I never want to see this movie again. I never want to hear about it.
I think Mike Epps got in a car accident for real just to get out of the movie.
You know what? Yeah, that's worth it, I guess. This sucks shit, TJ.
I mean, how do I follow up that? It's a 1 for me, dog. It's fucking awful. I got some cheap laughs from, again, the incompetence of the film. Like, I don't know. I mean, I keep wondering where the bottom is for these major studio movies. Like, this is released in theaters, and this looked like remember that movie we used as like the measuring stone for a while? That weird movie we watched at Gog's Basement was like Dark Territory, like like
Agency of Vengeance.
Agency of Vengeance, Dark Territory. Like it looked like that. Like this looks like some random bullshit you'd see on like Sci-Fi Channel. This is a major motion picture. Like, that used to mean something.
TJ,
right?
What was that Spider-Man fan movie that everybody fucking shit their pants and they hate so much?
Spider-Man Lotus, yes.
Yeah.
Where Spider-Man was like a white supremacist.
Can't tell me he's not.
What?
He's never come out against it. He didn't condemn white supremacy.
Yeah, he didn't. Right?
Spider-Man is not a white supremacist?
Spider-Man is not a white supremacist.
Yeah, I think we can say that.
I can safely say that Peter Parker is not a white supremacist.
It was a guided tour of our nation's capital.
Oh, you think
Spider-Man was there?
You think nerdy ass Peter Parker wouldn't end up being an incel, like if that story took place right now?
Oh my God!
He does end up with Mary Jane, so
eventually.
And Gwen Stacy, to be fair.
But he wouldn't have made it that far. Like he would have to get through college.
Peter Parker is like fucking like George Costanza, where he's like he's a nerd, but he's constantly getting hot.
You know what they need to do is just make a Spider-Man movie where he just turns into Elliot Rodger, like at the end, and just fires a bunch of broads to death.
Jesus Christ. Also, if the superhero who fucks is Daredevil, which we all appreciate. I do appreciate in the show.
That's his main weakness is pussy.
Yeah, in the show, they also show that he fucks all the time, which I love that. But anyway, back to this horrible ass movie. I don't know, man. The fucking like indigenous spider people's costumes were fucking hilarious. Again, that guy that looked like System of a Down showing up in like his like sweater vest in the jungle for some reason was like, did they just forget to shoot his scene and didn't have his costume? And they're like, I don't know, just show up with whatever. Dakota Johnson's straight up just, she hated the material and just didn't give a fuck. Like that was kind of hilarious. Like the way that her line deliveries are something to be studied.
It's so funny. It's like they're almost like at the end of the movie, like, oh yeah, she's supposed to be blind. It's like, I don't know, just Jason Pierre-Paul her and get this shit over with.
Yeah, like whatever. And the fact that, again, just from conception alone, like, why did they make this movie? Like, the only time they advertised, in the advertisements, you got to see all of the Spider Girls in their costumes. You're like, oh, cool. Like, I think I said this to Sean Analog, but like the reason that we like Spider-Man movies, and across all of the Spider-Man movies, Spider-Verse, the Raimi movies, the newer movies, even the Garfield movies, they're action films, right? Like at their core, like Spider-Man's an action movie, and we like, even in like the lamer Spider-Man movies, like there's cool action scenes. Like as much as we hated Amazing Spider-Man 2, like there are action sequences in that film.
It also has that great Dane DeHaan scene where it's like, what's this gonna cost me, a boat?
But like this movie has no action, and we forgot to mention it, but in the beginning of this movie there is the slowest like high speed chase I've ever seen. Like they're in this ambulance, and they're supposed to be like just slamming through New York City or whatever, but it looks like they're going about 20 miles an hour. I've never seen a movie shoot a chase scene like this. It looks so weird and so flat. Like Adam Scott is doing the like fucking Bela Lugosi from Ed Wood, where he's trying to move like the van is moving, and it's just, it's so bad. It's bad on every level, man. And like, like Anthony said, like I can't imagine who would sit down and enjoy this movie. Like, there's nothing enjoyable about it. It's just terrible. It's a one. Sony, I don't know what they're doing. Like, it's like if there's some kind of like major league conspiracy where like the head of Sony is like, you have to lose this much money or like I'll kill your kid. Or
is it like that fucking Richard Pryor movie where like they have to spend so much money by the
Brewster's Millions?
Brewster's Millions. It's a good movie. Anyway, yeah, this movie fucking sucks. So are we still, we're not in March anymore next week, are we?
No, it'll be in April.
No, we're in April.
So what's April's theme?
Planet of the Aprils.
I don't know. Movie April.
Planet of the April.
April?
Not
all movies feature.
Sean, you are hitting the misogyny button a little too hard today. Go ahead, Anthony.
Anthony, do you have an idea?
Please don't follow up with the Sean thing. Go ahead, though. No, it's too bad. He won't even say it. He's laughing too hard. We don't have an April?
What's eating Gilbert?
Why don't we do Cape Roll and just do all heist movies or something, like all caper heist movies,
or superhero movies?
Yeah.
I think you should do heist roll.
What? Say that again.
Heist roll.
He said the heist.
Heist roll?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. He said
That's
cape
okay.
roll.
It's let him. It's his
Cape
first
roll,
day.
like
It's
cape roll, like a caper.
Let him do that.
Whack, whack, whack. It's my first day.
All right. So cape roll. It could either be a caper movie or a superhero movie because they have capes. Anybody have a pick based on that? Anybody?
The Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's
all right.
It's too good.
What do you say?
The Friends of Eddie Coyle. It's a 70s crime movie.
Now you guys you're just making stuff up now. Just saying.
Well, it's either that or Sorcerer. I'm picking one of those two movies.
Oh wait, did we watch Thief on the show yet?
No, I would love to watch Thief. That's a good one. That'd be cool. Go ahead, Anthony. So, you don't get a pick, Anthony.
No, this is about Thief. I was watching this YouTube video on Quentin Tarantino. He's like, Michael Mann just had water trucks on set to soak down the streets in Thief. And he's like...
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
That's it.
My pick is Thief, but we can watch, obviously, whatever people want to watch.
Friends of Eddie Coyle. Sean, you had the first pick. I don't... That's a good
this was my pick, so, like, let Alec or TJ go, because I think I've suffered enough.
I don't have... you know what? I'll pick Thief, even though Gog's going to pick Thief. I'd like to
watch Gogs.
Look at Gogs.
All right.
Or I can pick something else.
No, pick Thief. I'll pick something else.
As long as nobody picks that fucking Edward Norton heist movie with Marlon Brando, because that's
isn't that the last Marlon Brando movie? What was that called? The Score?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Have we watched Hell or High Water on the show?
No, that movie fucking rules.
That's a good one.
Then that's my pick. If TJ's picking a Thief, my pick's Hell or High Water.
I'll pick Thief. Yeah. Okay. All right. So next week, Thief. Anthony, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for coming by with your dipshit opinion, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like a dream come true. I'm here on the show I love.
Oh, that's grim.
Yeah, it is. Kind of.
Never meet your heroes.
Love you
Have you met all of us? Love you too, buddy.
He's met all of us.
I know for a fact he's met TJ.
Not bisexual. TJ,
Love you too, buddy.
All right,
Thank you for coming on.
Bye, boys.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night, boys.